Hi there, ARRG. Riddle me this. What's big, hard, and won't fit comfortably into my pants? My name's Sam, and you're watching ARRG's Game of the Week for October 10th, 2013. So, to join in ARRG board members in encouraging players to try big box games this week, I'll be taking a look at Munchkin Quest, a big box dungeon crawling game for 2 to 4 players in which they'll be exploring a dungeon, defeating monsters in an attempt to reach level 10 first, beat the boss, and exit the dungeon safely, all in an effort to be declared the winner. First off, yes, this game is directly based off that Take That style game full of shenanigans known as Munchkin by Steve Jackson Games. However, this game does add enough differences to it to add a lot more depth and complexity to make it worth your while. So let's take a look at what the game looks like when it's all set up.
Alright, ARRG, so I've done kind of a mock setup of Munchkin Quest just to give you an idea of what the game actually looks like in comparison to its predecessor. As you can see, the game has a lot more complexity just by looking at the fact that you're actually exploring a dungeon that creates itself as you play the game. Now, players begin the game in the entrance, and then as they move out, players will be randomly picking tiles that represent the rooms that they're entering. Now, for those of you that have played the original Munchkin, when you open a door, you just flip the card over and proceed from there. And here, you're actually opening the door to a new room and entering it and dealing with whatever threats, monsters, or even little goodies that you'll encounter along the way. Each room has its own little special effects. For example, we've got the treasure vault here, which you can search for more items and find better loot there. Now, as we could see early on, this room was actually looted out, and that means that no more players can no longer search that room for any treasure. It's gone, it's emptied out. Over here in the twisty tunnel, it causes you to drop big items, and as you can see, as denoted by that little E marker, green player's barrel of molasses, which is a big potion, is dropped there, so anyone that enters there can later pick that up by performing a search action. And as you can see, everyone's got their own little colored figurine to represent each player, and even the monsters have their own bases, and they'll be roaming the dungeon, kind of posing a looming threat to players as the game progresses.
Now, I'm going to save most of the meat of the game and the mechanics for when I teach it to willing players at ARRG tonight. But this game, as opposed to its cutthroat predecessor, feels much more like an actual RPG. I mean, you're exploring a dungeon room by room, fighting monsters, looting rooms for treasure, all in an effort to reach level 10. Rooms themselves have unique effects that help and hinder the players and monsters in them. Monsters themselves actually roam the dungeon. And items, well, you can carry a bunch of the bigger items. The more you carry, the more you're weighed down, which will hinder your movement. Even helping and backstabbing each other feels a bit more balanced by the fact that you need to be in the same room or in an adjacent room to the player you're helping or hindering. On top of that, well, the mechanics still remain the same. You level up by killing a monster. The game doesn't just end when a player reaches level 10. Instead, once a player is at level 10, a level 20 boss monster is placed in the entrance. Level 10 players now have to race back to the entrance, beat the boss, and be the first to exit the dungeon safely. So really, there's a lot of depth to Munchkin Quest, making it worth your time and worth your while to have some fun playing it. So if you feel like taking a stroll through a deadly dungeon and testing the bonds between you and your fellow ARRG members, I'll be bringing Munchkin Quest to ARRG tonight. I'll have it set up as early as possible so we can get started as soon as we have at least 3 willing players ready to play. Also, as a reminder, ARRG will be accepting food donations for the Ryerson Community Food Room, so why not help some fellow students who have been dealt a really crappy hand by bringing in some non-perishable foods. Till then, this is Sam rolling to escape this video. GG Argonians, thanks for watching.